this is an organization that was set up in 1932. It's been around for decades. In 1961, EFU was the largest life insurance company in the Afro-Asian subcontinent, excluding Japan. If you actually go back to the pledge that was agreed on by Mr. Bimji and the board of directors in the first meeting of EFU Life before my time, it actually says there that this company is about service to humanity, not just about profit. So in a sense, that drives the way we manage this company. It's not life insurance per se. In terms of explaining it to people, I think we need to say, look, it's lifestyle insurance. You know, if you have insurance, if something happens to you, your family's lifestyle is protected. These were the days when there was no TV, no smartphones, no Netflix. I think we had a good circle of friends, and I seem to remember that most of the time we were actually out. So that was the early days, but I then left when I was 12 years old to go to a boarding school in UK. I was in the civil service for 5 years, Department of Health and Social Security. I was moving from London to Bristol. It was a family decision. I was not able to get a transfer within the civil service. An acquaintance of mine from East Africa was working for a company called Allied Dunbar, and he said, look, before you get yourself a proper job, why don't you join life insurance? And I did, and I was out selling for nearly 2 years actually, and then moved into training and development. My late founding chairman of our company, Mr. Roshanli Bimji, in the last company that I was with, we had sort of met each other. I joined, was there for, and he was there for a few months because he then came back to Pakistan to join the first Benazir government as an advisor. But we'd actually met. He didn't stay with the government for too long for obvious reasons. But we knew each other, and when he got the license, when private sector companies were allowed to come back into the market in 1992, we were the first ones, first company to have got a license. So he asked me to come on a consultancy basis for 2 weeks, just to help him put together a business plan, design some products, and then those 2 weeks have now extended to 25 years. You know, when I took over the company, there were basically 10 employees. We started from one small room, and here we are now. Still remember we just come back. I come from UK. I had at that time with me 2 young boys. We came here. We rented a house, and the first week we had no electricity for 4 days. So those were interesting times, I think. We started the company with a fund, an investment, the policyholder fund, with a seed capital of 5 million. Those funds are now worth, the value is 116 billion. So I think that gives you an indication of how well we've done. We've been first in many things. The first company to go paperless, the first company to come up with a chatbot on our Facebook, first company to have a complete a point of sale system which is biometrically enabled. So there have been lots of firsts. Our data center is tier 3 standard in terms of trying to explore and expand the mass market, the micro nano market. That's the area that we're moving in. You can't do that without technology. We currently have about 3.5 million lives insured. Of that, 800,000 are ones that we would class as micro nano market lives. So it started, We had 2 objectives in mind when we did that. One was to make our logo, it's evolved, changed, it's to make it more relevant to the new digital age that we live in, make it more modern, whatever that means, but more relevant to the millennial market. But at the same time, what was important is not to forget our heritage. And you will have seen, therefore, that in our new logo, we've retained a circle. A circle is, in a sense, there's no beginning, no end, it's complete, it's eternal. Its circle has always been part of our logo, so that's there. That was the first objective. More relevant, more modern, more digital age relevant. The other objective we had was we wanted a logo which encompassed both our organizations. As you know, we have our sister company, EFU General, in a sense our parent company, and EFU Life. We wanted to have one logo, same color, same fonts, so that what we do going forward is to project EFU per se. The fact that it's Life or General, 2 separate companies, is secondary. So with those 2 objectives in mind, we've now changed our logo, refreshed our logo. I think seeing the people who work with us change in terms of their mindset, in terms of their expectations, or what they want out of life, seeing a consultant, a sales consultant, joining us on 5,000 a month, now having moved on, earning 5 lakhs a month, and the kind of generational changes that takes place, because these are people now who can send their children to better schools, move into better houses, and therefore the generational change, the children, their expectations have gone up. So that, I think, gives me the greatest satisfaction. Now, I think if you look at the number of people that are associated with EFU Life, distribution channel, our head office, it's probably coming up to 10,000. So we've come a long way, and I hope that by being associated with us, by being infected with the kind of expectations and the culture that we have, that also will spread. So, the ripple effect of that. I think integrity is very important. I think as a leader, you have to walk the talk. You can't say one thing and be seen to be doing something else. So you have to be a role model in terms of the kind of values that you want people to follow. So that's important. I think be straight with people. I think don't manipulate. I think sometimes people become so clever in wanting to actually manipulate that people see through you. So be honest, integrity, and obviously hard work. And continue to stay positive, I think. I mean, I generally look at life, as a glass half full rather than half empty. Real strategic depth comes from building your own population. 60% of our population is under 30. I mean, that's either tremendous human capital or it's going to be a burden. So, we should have spent many, many years developing that. And that gives you strength that you can then project outwards. We need to take charge ourselves. I think we're constantly waiting for someone else to make a start and to say, well, when things are right, I will also, on a day-to-day basis, we can actually all do things which perhaps in the larger context don't make a difference. But you need to make a start yourself.